Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing this Tuesday morning? We have Mitch here. Today is good
Raiders.
morning, everybody. How's everybody doing this Tuesday morning? We have Mitch here. Whoa, sound like I had a bunch of clones for a little bit. All right, yeah. Today is Mitch's birthday.
Yeah.
It's Mitch's birthday today, so everybody tell Mitch happy birthday. What's up, Greenhorn, Frank, Keith? Yeah, I fixed it, Netron. I'm muted. I have these other windows to keep track of the stream going, and I had to mute them. So, what's up, Foy? What's up, Netron? Mitch is that big 28 today. Kind of a dull day in the market, though, honestly. Whoa.
Yeah. It's just one of those days where I'm watching daily charts.
Yeah. Yeah, looking at AETY. I mean, it's gapping up some from 75 cents. You know. UXIN is starting to get a spike this morning. It's up to 9.15 from 8.40. I'll be watching UXIN. We'll see where this one goes. It's spiked up some this morning. ABB popping up on my scanners. ARCC had a big red day yesterday.
One of my main watches for today is going to be APHA. Definitely seeing a good kind of pattern over the last kind of, what we got here, 10, 11 days. If you pull on like a 15-minute chart, essentially from the 6th it started driving up to about the 18th now. You can draw a downward trend line. Seen this stock kind of make these moves. It's inside a smaller pattern right now that has a resistance of 577. I think if it breaks that, it's going to try 6. But if it comes down below and finally cracks down through this 530 here, I definitely want to approach the stock. You know, APHA looks good on that support break. If it can break down through that 530 and head down towards that 5 area.
It's got a terrible daily chart.
Yep. The only thing that's keeping this stock alive is that there's always speculation that this stock might be the next one bought and up, and that's why this stock is still up. But I think at the end, you know, if it doesn't make that move towards 6, it could break down that support. If it does break down that support, I'll be looking for that VWAP fade.
Yeah,
Look for that breakout. Also, Kron in the last 5 days just trapped in between a range. Been doing a little bit more research on this. It's trapped between like 1107 and 1173s. Essentially, just building a volume here at the bottom, and in my eyes, just kind of getting ready to make a ramp up. It just looks to me that the shorters are not in control in this stock. Essentially, it's being bought up like a bag, and those are 3 days of volume where the stock just stayed in a range. And so what ends up happening is that you're starting to get that momentum. Whichever way it heads towards now, it should get that good lift. If it passes 1175s today, I would look for Kron on the long side, and it would have to break down through the 11 for the short.
Yeah, for sure. Look at RCII, which is Rena Center. It's gapping down some.
Boom. Yeah.
Moving. For sure. Johnson & Johnson as well.
Yeah, I was keeping an eye on Johnson & Johnson. It's just a hard trade.
Yeah, I think the story of the day is going to be what the weed stocks do, whether they rebound or, you know, what happens to them, or whether they continue going up. I mean, Kron, they kind of branched off yesterday. Like, Kron spiked up originally at the open, and ended up giving it back. Now it's gapping up some in pre-market. ACB ended up running all morning and then failing again. It's gapping up some. And then we have NBEV, which had a really nice green day yesterday, and it's gapping up some. Let's look at the daily chart for NBEV. The daily chart looks extended. I mean, who knows though?
Yeah. What I see on this one is a lot of drive. We haven't gotten that volume that we got in that first push. So I don't think it has the correct volume yet to get to 8. But I'm going to definitely keep an eye on this one. It has gotten that extension. I would agree with you. Could pull back here to probably 6 or a little bit below that. But definitely creating kind of more of a U pattern there, kind of a flag building. If you draw a trend line from that daily kind of downwards, you get right about to today on that third touch for 675. Let's see if it can get past that first kind of essential green bar push, which is that $8 mark. That's really going to be the mark where I think this stock will have problems.
Yeah, I think you might be right. At the first one, I'm just looking at to see if it gets rejected at 75. I mean, it got up to 90s, but it does have some resistance right where it's kind of at now. So I'm looking for it to maybe wash out and then hold that level as resistance during the day. But we'll see. It's a big if.
Yeah, a nice rejection of 7 at the open would look nice. Has had kind of 1, 2, 3 attempts at it now. If you looked at pre-market a little bit back on Thursday, it made this kind of move towards 7 and rejected really hard down all the way back down to 580s. So let's see if that can kind of essentially happen again. Seeing MBEV crash through, let's say, 650s, and then we'll look to see that level break where that support is right there in pre-market.
Where did my scanners go? There it is. Where do I have this weird like black screen up on my computer? I don't know what it is.
Taking over.
Dude, no, it's literally like a mystery screen right now. Like it doesn't let me move it. It's just in the background covering this whole monitor, man. It's like the blob right now.
Mirror got into your computer.
Dude, I really don't know what it is. I could take a screenshot of it. Like, watch. I'll take a screenshot of it. It's just weird, man. It's just a black blob. Like, look at this. This is it right now. Like, this is it right here. Like, this is like the outline. There's a little bit of blue showing from my background, but like, this is it.
What?
I don't know what it is, man. It's not even like let me press it or anything like that.
I think it has to do with Zoom, maybe.
No, like Zoom is right here.
I don't even know that.
I know, dude. It's tripping me out. All right.
You're catching the black, bro.
Right, dude. It's just. I hope it's just not a virus or something like that. It's weird. Let's try task paneling this.
All right. Catch up with the chat. What's going on, guys? Oh, it's a black matter. It's black energy. There you go. You got a dark hole filling in your computer.
At this point, it's plausible. You know what I mean? Who knows?
What kind of dog I have? He's a mix of a cattle dog and lab. He's all black. People don't like black dogs. I love black dogs. I love dogs, period.
No idea what this is.
Puppy wants me to trade good. Let's go. Let's get it.
All right. So we got AMD. I'm going to be watching AMD again. We'll see what it gives me. Been watching it every day. I mean, it had a big washout yesterday, a big drop, surprisingly enough. What's the overall market doing right now? I think my guess for this thing that's on my screen is that I just have too many windows up, and that it's just kind of one of the shadows from one of the windows that just hasn't gone away yet. It'll probably go away. That's my guess. SPY is down yesterday. Big down day yesterday.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, I think it's getting hit.
Went down to 253s. It broke under that support. Like if you look at the SPY, it has some support at 258, 259, 260. And I broke under that, man. Now it's going to the second support down here, which is at about 252, 253. And so if you look at where this thing went, it went right down to 253, man, and then bounced.
True. We talked about it, man. If it got below that 259, 77, just started getting through that 258 level, it was going to get some volume, some ramp, and then we talked about where the potential heading towards is. Right now I'm seeing that 252.92.
For which one?
For the SPY. The overall market.
To what?
252.92.
Yeah, that's where I have a actual line drawn right there. At 259, at 252.93 is really where mine's at.
Yep. That's where I could see it heading towards today, and then maybe creating a little bounce before, we see if we are going to continue down on this downward path, kind of taking away the whole year's gains. This is why kind of a lot of people talk about passive investment is the only way to make money, and this is a pure example of that. Passive investment isn't the way to make lots of money.
Right.
A lot of times, let's say if you invested a lot of money in January, if you invested a lot of money in the market in January, you essentially are down on your investment right now.
Right.
And that can cause a really big kind of change in your passive investment. You start thinking that your portfolio is up and that you can keep buying shares. Next thing you know, the market starts taking a downpour and you don't know how to hedge your passive investment. So that's why I'm much more of an active trader. And if I would ever have a portfolio, I don't think I would manage it in a passive way. I would manage it very actively, use a lot of risk factors, a lot of hedging. And that's probably about the only way to make money in that case. And it's pretty difficult for kind of the normal retail investor to know how to hedge, know how to take options against equity trades, so that when the SPY does certain moves like it's doing right now, you could have put what's called a straddle on the SPY, expecting it to come down and have volatility. If you put a straddle on the whole year, overall, you would be making tons of money, as the stock has stayed in kind of a range and has gone up from about 293 to all the way down to 250s about 1 or 2 times. So right. Within those times, you could have been making money.
Just trading the range.
Yeah. There's different strategies out there.
For sure.
But this is why we day trade, It's a lot more complicated than people think to do other investments. And we take a different approach. We try to take overextension levels and tackle on momentum.
Right.
We use key risk to reward measures, and that's what's gotten us to our successful system.
Right, for sure. But yeah, cannabis stocks, kind of a weird day, not a weird day, sorry. Cannabis stocks, a down day yesterday. They first initially pushed up and then kind of came back. Now it's gapping up a little bit in pre-market, so we'll see what happens with these. Going to be watching them some. Aside from that, there's some more expensive stocks that are moving. Like, first there's Rent-A-Center, which is RCII. It's gapping down from 14.45 to 12.15. So I'll watch Rent-A-Center. We'll see what we get with that one. RIOT, Mitch, is one of my scanners. RIOT. And it's kind of up some, man. RIOT gapping up from 179 to 193. It's a crypto blockchain related stock. I remember this one moving a while back.
Is that a tradable?
Probably not, is what I'm guessing, honestly. TLRY moving some as well. Big gap up for TLRY. What was it? RIOT. I doubt it's tradable. I can check.
Yeah, I was just wondering.
Okay, I think this big thing may be my trading window on TAF. So I'm going to close down TAF, see if that fixes it. Whoa. Look how big my things are. Hold on. Small icons.
You're having fun.
Honestly, my computer's tripping me out this morning. It's
Yeah,
just acting funny.
that's what I'm saying. You're having fun. Here, if you want, you can put up my screen. Kind of have what I draw out on APHA.
Yeah, RIOT is not tradable. APHA is.
Yeah. RCII not tradable. You know, this is just the one of the negatives of TradeNet. You know, like always, every broker, positives and negatives. Doesn't matter what you do.
Yeah, RCII is not tradable. That's surprising. RCII is a big company. I mean, it's a well-known big company. I'm surprised it's not tradable. Interesting here.
Let's find some biotechs. All right. Man, this stuff got hit.
Yeah, I sometimes do. I can pull it up. Usually it's after the bell rings, though. I'm typically in the morning. I'm just looking for gaps and like volume in the market. Because if I have gaps in volume, I can kind of plan the trade out a little bit better, map stuff out. Kind of a weird day, though. Slow day again. I know I always say days are weird, but what I mean by weird is just the volume's low. Johnson & Johnson moving. TLRY, cannabis stock, pushing up from 65.89 to 72. It's moving some. So, I mean, we have some movers in the cannabis sector. Like CGC gapped up, Cron, TLRY, ACB. So we'll see what we get with those. Johnson & Johnson actually just, it's gapping up, so I'm curious here to see why. We also have a SHOP shop. Gapping up a little bit. Not anything to really talk about, though. PRTK, TEF, TTWO, TTD, QD, GGB.
Oof.
Not seeing any big volume. I mean, it's probably because it's so close to the holiday that a lot of people are staying home, not trying to lose all their holiday money in the market.
Yeah, look at yesterday at TLRY.
I know, that's what I was saying. TLRY, big spike ups from 65.89 to 72, man. Big drop yesterday, and then it just filled it completely.
I was watching it a little bit yesterday. Called out near that 74. It looked good, You just have to learn how to trade that kind of stock, but definitely had a good risk to reward there. And man, it would break down.
I usually say it's a good day, honestly, Luke. Like one thing, like the way I classify days as good or bad is just how many gaps, how much volume we have in the market. If I see a day where we have a lot of gap ups and a lot of volume, I usually won't say it's a good day, but my probably verbatim words is like, it doesn't look that bad today. You know, you'll hear me say that a lot, and that usually means it's a good day. At least I like the market at that point. But honestly, this year's been kind of slow. Overall this year, you know, usually the market's a little bit better at this point in the year.
Good morning, Eric.
What's up, Eric? What's up, man? What's up, Ruckus, Shirley, Jacob, Rommel? Where's ACB? ACB is up after dropping yesterday.
Man, one that I predicted that I really wish I would have stayed in and just kept that trade was AOBC. Ooh, that 1364. I remember I was trying to take a trade there. That thing has just never stopped going down.
Thank you. So Tef's actually refreshed. It was weird. I woke up this morning and Tef's, like, my profit and loss didn't change on Tef's, and so it actually refreshed. So that's good to see.
Sometimes they're a little slow.
Yeah, I'm kind of bummed out. If anybody remembers me trading yesterday, I had a put option on MEET, and Mitch's advice to me with this put option was to wait at least to around, you know, the last hour of the day and then sell. You know, let it work for the last hour of the day. And if I would have done that, it would have gotten down to the 330s. But I sold it at 350, and, you know, I made some money on the option. But Mitch was right.
It's not too bad. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, that's the thing about options. It always gives you that ability to wait. And you just have to consider if you're going to literally just let it play out.
Yep, for sure. And what was the other one? Oh, yeah, what is it? WPM. I'm still looking at WPM to see if it's, you know, it looks extended on the daily chart. Like, if you look at WPM here, it had this big gap up, and it may have been a legitimate catalyst and stuff, but I'm still looking for it to come back down some. You know, WPM, I traded this one the other day. It faded nicely, and then it kind of bounced back. And so looking maybe at this one to see if it gives up some of these gains that it's made in the last few days. I mean, it gapped up from 16s all the way to 19s. It's sitting right around 19 now, and so we'll see if it gives any of that back. We also have GUSH, which kind of looks interesting. It's an ETF, though. RBS, gapping up, no volume. ET, ESV. We have a few gap ups, but nothing with really volume. So I'm going to be... The cannabis sector looks okay. I'll probably be watching that.
Yep. I think my top two watch in the cannabis sector, at least for me, is going to be APHA and NBEV.
Yeah, I like NBEV for sure. Probably NBEV. Luke, NBEV, it looks good. You know, you could think about trading AETI. You know, AETI is gapping up some. I think it may fill some of this gap, but it may run as well. It's a little bit too cheap for me to really want to trade as a short trader, just because it's, you know, it's right around $1, and it's just too risky. So I'd probably stick with NBEV. Cass is asking, can I explain options? I hear you really have to understand them, or you can lose a lot of money. Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, options is just it's the name is self-evident. So, like, an option is giving you the option to buy or sell a certain amount of shares of a stock, right? And so it's like, if I buy an option, you know, for instance, just to explain this one, like, I bought an option, a put option, so it's like a short option on MEET. It had a strike price of 370 up here, and so once it broke 370, I started making money on this option. I bought the put option. Let me see where I bought this thing, man. Whoa. 370. Let me extend this. So yeah, you can see I bought this option way up here at $4. Just looking for it to hold this 416 resistance right here that you can see right here. Looking for it to hold that area as resistance and come back down. It ended up dropping really nicely for me, and I sold the option at around 350, for about, I don't know, $40-$50. And so that's it. You can also sell options, but the good thing about buying options, I think, is that they have a very specified risk. You have a very defined risk area when you're trading options, as opposed to like if you're selling options, your risk is essentially unlimited. And I think you're going to win more than you're going to lose. I think most options expire worthless, but I think that your risk is at least limited when you're buying options. Hey Connor, what's up, man? What's up, Dex? Yeah, UXIN is moving some as well, gapping up some. Is this an ETF? Because it's been moving a lot for an ETF, but it looks like one just from what the name suggests. I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to run to the restroom really quick. Be right back.
What's going on, traders? How we doing? How we doing? I'm back. Just making myself some little coffee, getting ready for the open here. One of the key things we were talking about last night um, in our classes is really about being ready for the open and having that probability mindset. So one of the things we go over consistently in our classes is how to really take advantage of your trading psychology, and that's how you really start gaining in this game. Um, we talk about how strategies, there's a million out there, but it's really the people that are able to capitalize on a true trading plan and having that ability to take advantage of their trading psychology. that are making the money out here. Options are, it's a completely different ball game. You know, we're here a lot more stressing on day trading, and that's really where I would say I have an expertise in. To say that I know and have be an expert in options, you know, that's where I would actually start, you know, lying to you guys. And I kind of don't even really like to give advice too much on options because I did my own research and it was pretty hard.
For
You
sure.
know, I've gone to finance school, and even then, I learned some really complicated strategies that you can kind of implement. But to actually do option trading, it takes a lot. You have to learn a lot more than you guys understand. It has a lot to do with what I call correlation and correlation to the market overall. And so you kind of do a portfolio. There's different strategies, kind of portfolios with different correlations and alphas. There's a lot of risk measures you have to calculate, and it's a lot more complicated than people think.
Yeah.
There's a reason why option traders are still trading in Chicago, and that's because they want to be around the great minds and kind of continue on. Um, it's a ever it's an ever learning thing because the strategies can always change. You can combine option plays. There's so many different combinations, and kind of people develop their own strategies. Um, there's $1 million option plays. You know, it depends on your capital. So what we try to teach here is essentially how to build a small account, and that's what we're trying to really teach everyone is how do you really accomplish this small account thing that so many traders are talking about.
Right.
And the only way you're going to do that is to stop thinking about the $60,000 gains, the $100,000 gains. Stop thinking about the nice Ferraris and Lamborghinis, and to really just start stressing on getting your trading game up and your skill, so that eventually you can buy those nice things, but they're going to come from your skill level. They ain't going to come from your need or want of those items.
Right. For sure. It's ironic the way it is. Like you don't want to actually think about making money. You just want to like you need to build a base. It's like anything. Like you start trading, you need to build a base of trading, like a fundamental base of day trading. You know, you need to understand what it is, how, you know, you should approach it, your plan, risk, reward, you know, extension levels, everything. You know, you have to build a base for it and then kind of move forward. The reason most new traders fail is just because they just jump right in trying to trade, you know, with big size. They try to trade like everybody else. They just jump right in with big size. If the setup looks good, they just blindly kind of jump in. Trade is chaotic. They don't know what to do, and they end up losing a bunch of money when they first get started. And you know, it's not uncommon at all. It's usually what happens, to be honest.
It's normal. All right. What's one of our favorites doing? NIO.
I'm looking at it. It's down. I mean, it's not actually. It's technically it's up, but it's moving down at this point.
Yeah,
We'll see what it happens at the whole dollar of 7 is kind of what I'm looking for NIO.
definitely.
Big drop yesterday though, man.
Yeah,
Huge drop.
a ridiculous drop yesterday at the open.
I know, man. You see that thing, man. I didn't
I was
notice it
trying
before.
so hard to get in it. I remember I watched it drop down to 50s. I saw it go down to 48s. I was like, yeah, come on, bounce up to 760. Let me risk off a 770. Nah, it didn't let me. Never let me get into the trade.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's just it never pulled back. It never gave us an entry. You know.
Tiva was a good one though. I nailed that one and could have nailed it later in the day
Yeah.
also.
It had like 3 subsequent fades from it. 1, 2, 3.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, I'll be right back. Coffee ready.
All right. I heard it's gonna be next week, Danny, but I'm not 100% sure. He needs to go ahead and sign that thing. I'm sure the whole industry is kind of going crazy right now with that farm bill, because what people don't understand about that farm bill is that that is going to drastically change things in this country. Not just for farmers, but you know, hemp is a much better paper product than actual paper is. Hemp is so much better than a lot of these paper oriented products that it's really going to hurt the paper business. Like the paper business is the one that has probably been lobbying for this constantly. And so if the hemp bill gets passed, I don't know if there are paper stocks like paper companies, but I may consider buying some put options on some of those paper companies. It just depends on the time frame if I can find a public paper company, but they are drastically going to be affected by that, because like I said, hemp is just a substantially better paper substitute, and it grows much easier, doesn't need as much work. It's just better. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's a rant, Isaac. I'm just saying there might be yeah, that's right, Louis. I love The Office, man. But no, I'm not ranting about it. I'm just saying it may be an opportunity in trading. If you can find a paper company, I think the alpha paper companies are going to be affected by the hemp legalization. All right, guys, we got about 2 minutes left. Right. Hey, I mean, I can rant on it, Isaac. You know, I can rant on it. I just think I think if you look at it from the outside, our country looks crazy right now. You know, and I think we're not the only country. I think that the fact that we're at the state now where I don't know. The only thing that frustrates me, I never talk about politics, but I just get frustrated with Texas just because they don't even have ballot initiatives. They preach about freedom, but don't even have ballot initiatives. We leave it up to the politicians who get too much PAC money. I'm not going to rant about it, though. The Open's in 45 seconds. All right, guys, watching AMD, NBEV, NIO. Let me see. NBEV, CRON, CGC, ACB, JNJ, AETI is moving. So we got 20 seconds, guys. So let's start to observe what's going on in the market. Thank you. I'm putting the intraday scanners up now. All right, so
And we're off.
Yep. So we got AMD pushing up, spiking up here. We have NBEV dropping some. What was the other one? UXIN was another one I was watching. Let's see what it's doing. It is dropping some as well. Actually, no, it's about break even. Whoa. It's about break even.
Sorry about that.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah, Hendrix over here.
All right, MRIN. A few people mentioning that one this morning. MRIN.
AMD taking a turn down south.
Wow. All right, so let's start to look for risk here for AMD. 1918 VWAP. You could effectively set 25 as your risk.
High day momentum scanner, guys. We got MRIN and BIOC.
26.
BIOC, MRIN.
NBEV spiking up too.
Yep, I'm watching it. The real key is going to be that 694 and $7.
Yeah, BIOC spiking. Oh, sorry. All right, so at this point, watching AMD here, we could set a risk at 23, 24 for about a 10-cent risk at this point if it pulls back there. We'll see, though. I want to wait a little bit of time for this thing to play out. I don't like that big downwick.
That's what I expected in MBEB. Hard downturn, guys.
Yep.
Watching this.
Green to red move. so far
Yep.
on NBEV.
All right, guys. I'm looking to short here at 680s. 680 off the 690s here.
Y'all having a hard time listening to Mitch? I have him up as loud as I can.
My mic dropped. Maybe that's part of it right here.
All right, NBEV, if it gets up to 679, it's just, where's risk? Maybe 87. And so about 10-cent risk doesn't look bad. I think it would probably be better just to do 690 though. And so reward level would be 62. So that's 2-to-1 just about for NBEV.
I'm going to order out at 680s.
Yeah, I'm kind of watching the same. Now, I'm not really upset if it washes out here, because I don't mind a little bit more of a drop before it pulls back. What I don't want is to kind of get faked out, kind of like AMD did here, where it just kind of spiked back up, faked out, came back down, spiked back up. That's not what I want with NBEV. And so if it drops a little bit more and gives me a little bit more of a confirmation in the down move, I don't hate it. And so watching for that here. Still tight risk on NBEV, about 10 cents up to 690. 10, 12 cents.
Yeah, it just got a lot of volume there in the 70s.
Look at AMD's acting weird. I might let stuff play out a little bit today, but CGC is back up to the VWAP. Cron is spiking up too, so we may start getting some reversals here, honestly. And so be careful with NBEV. I don't know if I'm going to trade it. Just because I see Cron spike up, I see CGC spiking up here, ACB. And so a lot of them just broke the high of the day, pulled red to green moves. And so I don't want to get caught in that. I know Cron did. UXIN just tanked here, down to 810.
All right, I'm holding for now. Canceled. Just too much volume build up in the 70s.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. A lot of the cannabis stocks just spiked. Now Cron pulled back, but CGC, ACB,
APHA up.
Yeah. So don't hate me if it does reverse, but
just getting to that point where I need to understand the risk to reward. So on 680, it doesn't look bad. Off 76 to 70 to 64, it's not the best.
Yeah, it's about 13 cents.
I mean, it hasn't even gotten to the VWAP yet. It's collected a lot of volume there. BIOC going off, guys. BIOC.
AMD kind of pull it back too. They're starting to run a little bit. Yeah, BIOC is taking off here. What was the other one I was watching? WMP? WPM. Nothing really, just some consolidation so far today.
Never really even getting to the VWAP there.
Yeah. It just held that 675 resistance. You can see that 675. The problem with it is that it's just bad risk reward. Yeah, you know, from 75 down to about 65 is 10 cents. And then from 75 to the only real stop area should be maybe the high of the day, you know, or the previous high pre-market at 87. It still gives it less than 1-to-1, so it's a no-go for me.
APHA breaking out there. There's MBV smashing down.
FIT.
She's a pretty one.
Look at UXIN here. Look at UXIN. Doesn't look bad. Yeah, AMD running. FIT though. FIT spiking here. Let's look at UXIN here. So UXIN pulls back to this VWAP at 853. I could effectively set a risk of 863, giving me a 10-cent risk, and it also makes that area the high of the day. And so I don't mind that if it gets up to 52, and then I could set a reward level of at least 820, I think, for about a 30-cent reward with a 10-cent risk. Don't hate that. I think that it could also get up here to the 870s, but I think that doesn't seem unreasonable for a trade plan. Volume's pretty low, though. I want to see a little bit more volume. Spread's kind of gnarly on this one too. RAOT tanking. Yeah, cannabis stocks are just, they're bouncing up today. Plus, UXAN may have some resistance at 852. Problem is that's where my entry would be, around 850. AETI drop. All right, so we got that spike up to the VWAP for UXIN here.
90 has to be really closely watched. It can catch a lot of volume here in the 50s, and it can go right straight to 90. You got to be careful with this one.
But look how extended the daily is, though. That's the only thing.
Bad. It's not bad. It's just you got to understand it. There's risk and reward on this one.
Yeah. There's also a spread.
Yeah, the spread doesn't help. You know how 50s is when it gets bottoming up.
Right. That's the only thing stopping me from it, just because the spread's kind of gnarly. If this thing starts to get bought up at 50, it's going to squeeze up to my stop level almost immediately, I think. Now, we'll see what happens with it, but it's not the perfect fade either. Like, it had a little bit of a drop, but it's not that continuous downward momentum that I really look for, but...
Man, MBEV, just a little bit would have got me filled. Went to 75, had the order out there. It's nice. I have an order out there for MBEV at 670 right now, but that's far from it. That's if it just takes a crazy bounce up.
I don't hate that. I think the other cannabis stocks may fade with it.
All right. In this area is probably more where I would wait like maybe one more candle, see if it bounces, rejects again with UXIN.
Yeah.
And then I hammer it. I
mean, it didn't.
It's not too bad there, but it can always be that kind of little fake out.
Right.
It's one of those that since it's going to give you so much of a down move if it happens, I say you let it give you that down move.
Right, here it is. Like this is what I was worried about, right? And the reason I really didn't like it is because the risk would have to be at the high of the day, and I hate doing that because when it does finally squeeze over that high of the day, it can be a really big move, and even though I have a certain risk level, it can be hard to follow because that squeeze can happen quick. Now NBEV up to 669. And I mean, it looks extended on the daily chart, UXIN, but NBEV looks okay. It just, if it breaks 7, maybe could run up to 750, 780s. Yeah, 670 entry with NBEV, maybe a 680 risk. Don't look terrible.
Yep, I have 671 out. I just draw my line, and where that line is, I already put my order out, and I expect to be filled at that spot because I'm more than okay with that spot.
Oh, TLRY, what's happening with that one? Yeah, look at that washout long.
Tank or washout long?
Beautiful little washout long there. I mean, one thing you'll notice is that a washout long is kind of like a fade fake out, you know? Or maybe a fade fake out is just a washout long fulfilling. AMD may be bouncing here, maybe for a VWAP bounce or something. But yeah, TLRY pushing up. Next level to see if it holds support really is this 7190, 72 level.
AMD. Right back down.
Yeah, well, it may be a VWAP bounce here, really, if you look at it. Like it looks like a VWAP bounce. Risk
now.
could
You
be.
see how UXIN looks now? This is usually around the time where I find it acceptable now.
Right. Well, it confirmed that risk.
Yeah. So it's a different kind of trade now.
Yeah, it confirmed that risk, gave you another resistance level at 860. But yeah, looking at AMD for this VWAP bounce, maybe. I mean, it doesn't look bad. Just looking at where to set risk would probably be 1920s, maybe a little bit lower to give you a little bit more room, 1915 or so. I think that's reasonable risk. Reward level can be up to 1950s, and so you got about a 10-cent risk with a, what is that, 25-cent reward. Not bad, 2.5 to 1. I gotta start taking the bounce play more because it follows through nicely like this most of the time. You know, look at AMD spike. And even if it gets rejected here, if it can get up to 1945 or so, you can still take profits with it. AMD's another one of those stocks that are pretty reliable with the bounce. You know, I see it happen a lot. 42s. So you could take profits right here. Made 20, 30 cents. Beautiful bounce. I got to start taking them, man. Like, I see the bounce. I back tested the bounce, and it works. And this is what you get with it. Beautiful follow through there. Yeah, look at that bounce, man. Picture perfect. Like I said, you could give yourself a risk of, what is this, 1920, 1915, 1920 or so. Tight risk, 10 cents. Reward level, 25 cents at this high of the day right here at 1950. All right, I'm watching NBV here. It's climbing, you know.
Yeah, I'm watching UXIN. I'm getting close to it. I'm looking for another rejection here in the 55s, 58s. I got into UXIN, guys. I'm going to lower down share size just to at least take some of that risk exposure off. I'm looking for another rejection here of 860s, and then I would short it. Kind of that momentum, and then you want to see the time and sales quickly reject it, and then I take the trade. There you go. That's kind of what I'm looking for there. The spread opened up. That's the only thing that's not helping me right now.
All right, NBEV climbing. If it gets up to 68, I'll take it with the risk of about 77. About 9-10 cent risk. 77, 78. It has to get up there, though. I'm not opposed to taking some off here, or taking some off if it gets up to like 65, and then adding the rest if it gets up there. But it's got to get up there. Let's see if we get that move. 62s. All right, this isn't NBEV. This is NBEV. All right. Come on, NBEV. Climb up a little bit here. 63s. 64s. All right, I added 100 here just in case. If it gets up to, looking for it to get up to 68, I'll add the other 200 here.
There you go.
65. Ugh. Never got it. Let's see if we get a little bit higher here. I'm still willing to add 64s. I don't hate adding another 100 here.
I'm going to order out to 69, so I expect a little bounce more too. So if it doesn't fail me, I'm okay with it too. So there's UXIN shooting up there, guys. It just got bought up. Look at that size on the ask.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of worried about with it. Like, when you get squeezed up over the high of the day, that's kind of what I try to avoid.
Nice. I'm going to be able to record this, guys, for you guys so that I can teach you guys a little bit of time and sales and level 2s. And you see this swing in UXIN, and then there's a huge number that comes up on the ask. I have that recorded. We'll be able to show you guys that and use that to teach you guys a little bit of something.
Is NBEV halted? What's going on with it? Oh, there it goes.
It's just slower. It's just moving slow. Okay. I like it. There you go. Good job, brother. You got yourself set into that.
Yeah, I mean, I only got 200 shares, though. But
I mean, hey,
it never hit the VWAP, and so it's fine.
Rejected off the support 65.
Yeah, it's a little spready, though. We'll see what we get.
Off the support. I wanted it a little bit higher.
I want 650. I'll take profits if it gets to 650. I'll take some profits. We
Yeah,
get
I
it
see
though.
50, and then you can go through the 40s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't hate it.
50 was the level I was looking at pre-market to tackle.
All right, we're at 58.
HMMY. Are you serious?
We're getting a spike. HMNY is still around.
People are buying it up.
HMNY, man, that was movie phone. Terrible company, man.
Oh, look at MRIN. Oh, you're in a trade, but
Yeah. Well,
MRIN
NBV.
getting hit hard there.
NBV's rebounding some here.
Oof, wish I could have been trading this one. This one looks like it's getting plowed.
All right, we're up to 64s for NBV. Like I said, I'll add that other 100 if it gets up there. At the same time, I wouldn't hate a rejection here too, because it kind of gives it that double top. All right, there's 660s.
Here comes the pressure. You want to see it. You want to see a big sizing come through in the 58s and 57s.
Yeah, for sure.
That will knock it down.
Yeah, beautiful bounce on AMD, man. Nice little VWAP bounce there.
Big sizing in APHA. Big. 70,000 shares right there.
All right, there's 61s, 62s. It's kind of consolidating a little bit here. I still like the risk. It's still pretty tight risk. We just need a breakdown now. It's kind of forming a high and low of this area. It's got to break down under 660. There we go. It's a little spready though. 58. See if we get that move to 50 here. Now it's got to break under the support it's got at about 56. It's down to 58, but it's been consolidating back and forth in between these two areas. So love to see a breakdown with some volume. 57s. It's back up to 62s. Getting pushed back down. All I can really do is hold it to my levels. That's all I'm going to try to do. Goal is 650. I've been selling a little bit too soon, so I'm going to try to actually let it get to my original profit target of 650 this time.
Why not right now? Wait, 57. Right. That's what you're looking for, right? You just got some of this.
There's 50s.
What did you see in the 60s? 40,000 shares go through.
Yeah.
That's what you're looking for, brother. Remember, don't worry about the trade anymore. Worry about the timing sales and just sticking to your levels. You've already taken the trade. It's too late to worry about the trade now.
Yep. 54s. All right, I took it off a little bit earlier. Right before it squeezed up too, so it was good to get that, but
no, it wasn't. I'll tell you right now.
You're probably right. The only reason is because like on my chart I have like a line at 52 and I got it right around there, 52, 53.
Ah.
I don't know where that chart was, where that line comes from, but I could see the resistance there. Or the support.
The chart never lies.
Right.
You shouldn't have got out.
I mean, you're probably right.
The thing is, it's just as simple as that. It's the risk to reward. What was your essential risk in this trade?
Oh, what happened? Sorry, I was reading decks. My risk is 75. 75, maybe 77. 75, 77. right here where this line is, 77. All right, there's 55s. Let's get that downward move here. This is the problem, right, with me taking profits too soon. And it's a process that I'm working on for sure. But the problem is that I take profits too soon. My winners are going to be smaller and my losses are going to be bigger because I'm exiting at my risk. And so, like, that's essentially the problem. And it was only 4 cents early, but that 4 cents can make a difference. And so I got to, compensate for that by letting these last little bit work.
I mean, it's just how it goes, It's just it's about realizing that what we need to do is trade systematically. It's not about profits. We don't trade essentially just for profits. We trade to trade a systematic system.
Right.
That's when you start being successful.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where it's like I've been getting in early because I don't want to miss the move, and that's been working relatively well, honestly, with both stocks. Like I did this yesterday with AMD. Like I jump in with 200 shares, and then if it gets to my level, I add that remaining 100. And what's been going on is that I get in early with 200 shares, and it just never really hits my level. It never gets up there to my level. And so it's like I get in early with small sizing, and it never gets to the add level that I was anticipating. And so I kind of just have to ride it out with 200 shares. And then, I take that first profit maybe a little too early and don't let it actually play out. Look at Riot. Actually had a fade. Nice little fade there for Riot. The good news, though, is that I see CGC, ACB tanking here. We'll see if we get some follow through with NBEV, which is another cannabis stock. Although I will say this about NBEV, that it's been running a little bit different than the other cannabis stocks. Like yesterday, NBEV had a green day yesterday, and the rest of the cannabis stocks did not.
All right, looking for another bounce here in APHA to get in here at 570s. I saw some weight get in there at 567s. I don't want to go and just bid down here and then get caught on a little bounce to the VWAP and then have to stop out. So I'm trying to get my entry here at 570, be at the top of this risk where I can risk above this 572, up there to that 575.
Yeah, there's 650, but it bounced right back. Spread's a little crazy, man. 4 or 5 cent spread. Yeah, I was looking at RCII.
Trying to get filled here on APHA here at the 70s.
What's your risk?
See if I get filled right here.
What's your risk?
Filled. It's 75.
Okay.
It's right above where that 72, kind of 73, but can hold to that 75.
All right, we're getting the 650 test for NBEV finally. The ask still never reached 650, but we're getting that test 651.
Not getting filled on the ask. Might have to mark it in here.
Now it's kind of the make or break moment for it. There's the breakdown under 650, 648. Gonna let the rest work. I mean, I can take another little profit if it gets down to 45 or so.
I don't like it as much. It's been holding way too much there. Need to get that quick rejection level.
All right, I just took another half off. Oh, no, I didn't. All right, now I took a half off at 48. I'm just going to let the rest work here. See if we can get that low of the day bounce. Their low of the day drop. So we're getting there.
Get to my levels.
It got to 650. It got down to I took my last profit at 648.
It's not a bad trade at all. I mean, at the end, you're at the bottom, but the only thing is it doesn't give you a chance for that home run.
Right.
If it just gets tackled right here, you're going to be like, man, you should have had a little bit of shares.
I do. I have 50 shares left. I took my last profit at 648.
I feel you.
And so I got some shares. It's a tiny share, but you know.
Nice. That's like
Hey.
the shares that your grandma gave you. I
Don't you
love you,
talk?
John. I love you, John. Don't worry. Your
Don't you?
grandma good shares at MBEV.
Don't you talk about my grandma? No, I'm just
She
messing.
gave you some good price. She gave you a good average at least.
Yeah, no, no. I mean, you know, like I said, my goal was 300 shares, right? Like I was trying to get 300 shares, and it just never got to the level. And you know, I'm not. I don't think that way of approaching fades is the wrong way. I think that's actually probably a decent way. And you know, it's kind of one of the ways I explained in our in the class with scaling and position sizing. And you know, I don't. It makes it's a practical way to approach it. It makes sense, you know. Like if you take a small position and then add your final position if it gets to your level. So if it does reject like this, you don't miss the full move. You still have some shares. And so, you know, I'm happy with that way of approaching it. Still wish I would have gotten the full 300 shares, but I got 200, and you know, I've scaled out relatively. You know, not perfect by any means, but I've protected myself to a certain extent, and now it's just about letting these last little bits work, or these last little bit work. My new stop is probably at 660. Oh, are you in a trade, Mitch? You in APHA?
No.
Oh,
When it bounced up, it went right to that risk level. So I just hold off for a second. This is where I could get back in at 570 risk off that 575 level.
you remember our code word, Mitch? The code word.
Yep.
Mitch and I have code words because we're cool. You know, we're cool like that. That's all I'm saying. All right. Letting this work here. See if we get. Ideally, I mean, I'd like to see it hold this resistance at, you know, like I said, about 560. If it could hold at 560, maybe 557 resistance, I'll like it a little bit more. And I'll probably end up holding this one until it breaks me. It stops me out at around 660 or so. No bid or ask available.
Available.
What do you mean?
What stock are you looking at? Yeah.
Whoa.
Make sure that it's a tradable stock.
Yeah, some stocks aren't tradable. Like I said, that's not the biggest flaw for me for TEFs and TradeNet, but I still make it work. I mean, there's enough to trade to where I'm happy. All right, there's 51s. Let's see, it's testing this $0.50 again. We'll see if we can get that breakdown. AMD? No, AMD should definitely be tradable. I've been trading that one like every day. What
Thing had a beautiful VWAP bounce there.
Which one?
No, AMD.
Oh, I know. I told you. I called that one out like as it was happening, as well as the tight risk it would have had. And that's why I said I need to take advantage of it. You know, I called this one out right on the nose, like right when it happened too, man. And I need to be able to take advantage of those. You know, I see them enough. And I've back tested the strategy. I've done all the hard work. And now it's just about taking those trades, which I need to do, you know. Cron cracking under the low of the day. We'll see if we get that with CGC, and we'll see if we get the follow through momentum with NBEV now. ACV down too. Cannabis stocks are down.
On taking a downturn there.
Remember, guys, today is Mitch's birthday, and so we have to send him like a scooter and with like a cane and some really big glasses, you know, in celebration.
Right.
Big follow through on Kron. Whoa. Big follow through on Kron. Down. Just cracked that low. It's continuing here. We'll see if NBEV follows suit, as NBEV is a cannabis stock as well, and CGC's tanking, ACB's tanking, Kron's tanking, and so we'll see if we get that follow through momentum with NBEV now. The rest of the cannabis stocks are doing it. Like I said, though, this one's a little bit of an outlier. You know, this one had a green day while the rest of them had red days yesterday, and so, you know, we'll see. Yeah, man. It's Mitch's birthday. I remember when I was a young pup like Mitch, you know, way back then. I used to walk 3 miles in the snow, you know, just to get to school. Mitch never had to deal with that, you know.
Oh no, 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 no.
It's weird. We get these big drops with the cannabis stocks, and NBEV does the opposite. It pushes up. Weird.
Hey, every trade is different, you know.
Yeah. I'll let it test 560. It breaks it. I'm out. Yeah, that's right. You did, Eric. Right, uphill barefoot in the snow. That's right. I'm older. I'm older. We're roughly around. I mean, we're what, 4 years different? 3 years. I can tell Mitch is focused right now too. Probably.
Ooh, you know it.
All right, we got 59. I'll let it test 560, like I said. Testing it now. Maybe another fade here. The only problem I don't like it is it put in a little bit of a higher low down there. But I'm letting it test this level. I've scaled out enough in this trade to where I'm not really too worried about a bigger move up. I just got to get out if it fails here, or if it breaks here. Man, the cannabis stocks are really getting nailed here. I wonder why NBEV is kind of breaking away from the pact with some of these. Because the cannabis stocks are getting massively hit here. Nice little VWAP rejection for ACB. And NBEV is kind of doing the opposite. Like, there goes UXIN too. Make or break level. Alright, I'm out. Just got a little bit too close. Maybe get rejected here, but might be actually another fade. Stuck to my plan with this last little bit, and no stress. That's looks like it was a good exit. Just got squeezed up. But man, look at the cannabis stocks. They're really getting hammered today.
Yeah, Kron's getting hammered really badly right now.
Yep, there we go. There's NBEV spike up. Thus is why I wanted to get out there. I let it test the VWAP. Maybe held it on this a little too long, but green day is a green day, I guess. Now I'd be watching, like, honestly, with some of these cannabis stocks, like, I'd be watching to see if some of these pull back here and get to the VWAP ever. You know, like if ACB can get up to 560, it's got a pretty tight risk at like 567, 566 or so, and doesn't look terrible. Yeah, you can detach it, Netron. You can detach the chat window. Let me see if I can figure out how. Yeah, so you go to the three little dots at the top, the vertical three dots, and you click that, and you just go to pop out chat, and then you can change how big and small it is. Somebody asked what broker we're using, what platform. We're using TradeNet and TEFs. So we're using Thinkorswim for charts, but then TradeNet and TEFs to execute our trades. Also, if anybody's interested in signing up to TradeNet, they do have their Christmas sale going on, and so I think it's 20% off the intro package. And so instead of paying $500, you get it for $400 or $399 roughly. And so if you don't know how TradeNet works and TEFs, it's like a prop firm. You pay for a package. It's not a deposit. You actually pay for it. And with that, you get a certain amount of buying power. Like with the intro account, you get 14K in buying power, and there's a $700 max loss. And so essentially right now, if you take advantage of the sale, you're getting the intro package for $400 and it's actually giving you $700 to lose. You know, there is a profit split on any profits you make, but it's a 70 for me. I think it's 75-25. But yeah, do your research. Biggest flaw for TEFs is that some stocks are not tradable. And so it's easily the biggest flaw. You know, if you like trading penny stocks, you're probably not going to be able to find that many to trade on TEFs. But for me, it's kind of the perfect broker for me. So I'll post the link. If you, yeah, for sure. That's what I'm saying, Aries. Like my link, like people hate on me and they say, "Oh, I'm just a plug for TradeNet or whatever." But I actually try to be honest with people about it. You know, like if I was just trying to mindlessly push TradeNet, I wouldn't bring up the thing about penny stocks not being tradable. I wouldn't bring up their flaws, you know. And so it's like, yeah, I make a commission from it. It's one of the ways we keep this live stream completely free, you know. And so if you're interested in signing up, checking out the broker, you can go through my link. I just posted it. Maybe AMD for another bounce here. It's at right around 1950. You got a risk of, let's see, where's risk? 1938 doesn't look terrible for that previous high of the day on that first candle. A 1938 risk with a reward level of 75. And so about a 10-cent risk, 10-cent risk or so with a pretty big reward, 25-cent reward here. Not terrible. Maybe you could also set a risk level of 1930. I think you might have a little bit better luck with that one. I think possibility of getting stopped out at 38 is there for sure. But it doesn't look terrible here for another bounce. We'll see. You bought 60 shares of APRU yesterday. 60,000 shares. I'm sorry. Let's see. What is APRU? Listen, I'm never gonna laugh at you, brother. You know, like, I mean, it did get hammered though. That sucks. Hey, I mean, it's cheaper now. But yeah, I'm never gonna laugh at anybody. Like, I think traders can kind of go through the process, and if you really understand trading, you understand that anybody's strategy can work. You know, anybody's strategy, most strategies can work, especially most strategies that you learn like for free online. Most of them can work. It's just about using the right conditions with the right risk and reward within those strategies. And, you know, like I said, we get a lot of people in here that tell me I'm wrong or that I need to do this and I need to do that and that I need to follow their strategy instead. And I think it's just human nature, but, you know, the point is that I just stick to what works, and I know my strategy works. And I know.
All right, there, guys. I'm taking my trade for the day here. I'm going to short here, really quick risk off of 73. So essentially, I only got a 6 to 7 cent risk here on APHA. Got a market fill here, a little bit of a bad fill, but going to take this risk right off of this level right here. Don't want it in 72s. 73 is my out here. Want to see pressure come into these 60s right now and knock it down here.
Sorry, I'm pulling up APHA, but I got you up.
All right. First profit's going to be at this 62 level.
VWAP, Keith, stands for volume weighted average price. It is on Mitch's chart. It is the yellow indicator. On mine, it's the only one up there. It's the purple line, and it works. The reason I use it all the time is because it works. But it's essentially like a moving average with volume taken into a consideration. But regardless of what it is and what it means, it's an intraday trend indicator as well. You can use it for that. But it works.
72 is going to be my out, guys. 72 is my out. And on the downside, I want to see 66 break here for the pattern breakdown. As you guys heard me earlier, probably should have been closer to that 670 entry, but the market with the spread kind of put me down on the downside. Definitely need to hold towards that limit and just need to watch this right here as it approaches. It's a tight risk trade.
Right. All you can do is follow your levels, brother, and I think you're okay. It's still a little early to tell.
Nope,
but I think you're all right.
Just get through this level right here. It's going to be a big, right here, 71, 72s. You don't want to see 72s get filled. 72s, I'm out.
You stuck to your levels. You got out before that squeeze. So
that's fine. $50 is what I was risking on the trade. I'll take that trade. What I would do is a lot of times I don't do this, but I'm doing more research and going to run more of a kind of a paper account on what to do in these kind of pattern breakdown trades.
Really quick, Mitch. Sorry, man. Yeah. Look at ACB, bro. You might want to trade. Look at ACB. It is right up there now, man. Tight risk, too. I didn't mean to interrupt you, brother.
No, you're good. Bring that too. It's not bad.
It just depends, like, what the cannabis stocks do here. Like, what they do. Like, if the cannabis stocks have been rebounding some.
I like that 537 on the daily chart, so.
What's up, Jordan? What's up?
Bad, but I've been doing research on kind of reverse trading these because now that I essentially know that it's not a pattern breakdown, it should be a pattern breakout. So an entry would be, let's say, long from 571s, 570 off of 566. And so if you get that entry for that kind of pullback mentality there, you see this on a 5-minute, and this looks like a flag breaking out now versus as the breakdown.
Yeah, for sure. I see the trade idea, though. Isaac, yeah, man. Like I said, that VWAP bounce on AMD, bro. Like I'm telling you, AMD, I think I've showed my back testing results for AMD. And AMD has been one of the most reliable stocks for bounces and fades. And you can see the follow through with it now. Like a beautiful follow through from that bounce. I've called both bounces today on AMD out. And I kind of verified where the risk would be. And this last bounce on AMD, risk would have been at 38. So super tight 10-cent risk. And you could have already taken profits here at that 1965 level. And so it was a beautiful bounce as well right here for AMD. It's one of those, it's like I said earlier, I just have to take it. Like I've back tested it, and it's just one of those strategies that I have to get used to taking because I'm so used to taking the fade that I kind of just stick with the fade. But, when a stock is as reliable as AMD has been, I just got to take it, man. I'm missing out on opportunity there. ACB, man. Like I said, risk could be, 64, 65 or so. Maybe if 66, if you want to use the previous high, reward level can be down to 44 or so, giving you a 16-cent reward with a, 8-cent risk. So 2-to-1. Maybe a little, doesn't look bad.
It doesn't look bad at all.
Let's look at it just depends on what the cannabis stocks do here. Yeah, Sid. Hey, I appreciate it, man. So Sid says, and this is why we teach what we teach. Like, people hate on us for a lot of different reasons. But Sid says, I know it's just paper trading for me right now, but your system for risk management by declaring risk and reward along with entry points is working for me. Hey, brother, we happy to hear that, man. I'm telling you, man, like that's the way to approach trading. You know, because if you think about it, if you consistently give yourself 2 to 1 or better reward to risk, even if you're only right half the time, you can still be really, really profitable. And so it's just about understanding that and holding it to your levels is the hardest part. You know, like that's the hardest part for me at least. And like I usually hold some to my levels, but I don't hold the full position like I need to. And when you mix that along with a profitable strategy, like, you know, I've been trading the fade for a while now. And when you mix it with a profitable strategy, you know, your trading is definitely going to get a leg up on most people. Nice job, Eric. Congrats, brother. Good trade, man. Like I said, I'm not judging, man. It's not my niche. I don't know much about the really cheap stocks like that, but if you can make it work, brother, you can make it work, man. Good job. You still
Oh, I
looking
was
at
looking.
ACB?
Yeah, I'm just also looking at MBEV.
For
Nah,
here, let me know if you're getting a trade. I'm gonna pull my charts back up.
oh, might have missed ACB. I would have to take it here on the bounce here.
I don't hate NBEV either. I mean, you got that 670 defined risk, and you can see how many times, like if you look at pre-market, it confirmed that 670 level. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it also confirmed it at the last move here. 5. So 5 confirmations of that 670 risk level. And so it doesn't look bad, man. NBEV. Maybe a little late though. Maybe climbing up some, but it doesn't look bad. Same thing with ACB. Doesn't look terrible either. Is anybody else chat frozen? Isaac's saying the chat's frozen. Yeah, there goes NBEV. There goes.
Yeah, should have stayed on my 670.
Nope. Okay, cool. Look at chat's okay. But congrats, Eric, man. Eric is on what? That's 7 green days in a row, Eric? 7 green days in a row for you, huh, brother?
Putting out an order here for 59 here on ACB. See if I get a little bounce fill.
You don't. What do you think about approaching it like I do, where you take like a small size and then add to it?
That's what got me in the last trade.
Wow. Yeah,
That's
there goes.
exactly what it is. When I tighten my entry and I change it even by 5 cents, I always feel like it's completely other trade. I mean, the other trade I wanted it to be off the 70, so essentially the breakout would have only been 2 to 3 cents.
Yep, you got 57s.
You know,
They squeeze up there. But yeah, look at MBEV go, man. Like I said, that's 670 level confirmed numerous times for NBEV. You know, not even just in pre-market and today, but a little bit
yeah.
earlier as well. Let's see how wrong I was with MEET selling too soon for my put option. Actually, no. Like, honestly, your advice for that put option was pretty spot on, Mitch. You said hold it for the rest of the day and then sell. And it dropped low throughout the day and then rebounded today, so it would have been nice.
Good call out on ACB. I'm just gonna miss it now.
Don't stress it, man.
Yeah, that miss is annoying though. But that's what happens when you watch 2 charts. I liked them both and didn't take any of them.
Yeah, it happens, man. Don't stress it. Yeah, but shout out to Eric, man. 7 green days in a row, brother. Congrats, man. You know, and that's why, like, in our classes, like, we're not experts or gurus. We don't try to pretend to be experts or gurus. We just teach people our system. And like Sid says, like, our system works. Even if you just watch the stream for free, you know, like, our system works. And I don't care what anybody says. People can say, you know, whatever they want. But, you know, I know the system works. At this point, in order for me to fully take advantage of the system, I just have to scale up. But once I do, I should be fine. I mean, NBEV's back up there, bro. It's back up to the VWAP at 664. And that 670 level is one that I really like because it confirmed it numerous times.
Naked is up.
NAKD? I forgot about NAKD, man. It's weird. Like, you trade for any like significant amount of time, you remember stocks. They have almost like a nostalgic feel to them. You can't let that nostalgia hurt you, though.
I'm seeing another. See that this is what happens. You trade one pattern breakdown, you see another one.
Yeah.
WPM. WPM. Looking like one of those right there. So low.
All right, let's import my trade, see what my graph's looking like now. Monday.
Ooh, NIO. VWAP rejection would be at 711, 710s. Missed that one on the way down.
I mean, I like my graph, Like, this is my graph. Oh, wait, did I upload Fridays? I don't think I uploaded Fridays. Yeah, let me upload Fridays. That might be a little misleading. Let me see Friday. I think I had a losing day Friday, right? It was only a $9 loss, but I think, if I'm being honest, I have to upload Friday.
Eric's the OG.
Right, man. Eric's been here for a while. Eric's been in our classes, too. It's cool to see the hard work pay off. Eric is always the first one there every day. And, it's really cool to see the hard work pay off for Eric, man. Good dude. What's up, John? What's up, brother? Wait, where did my trader view go? Do I have two windows up? Yes, I do. Let me upload Friday. Yeah, I mean, that's my graph for the last month. Not bad, I'll take it. Definitely green, just gotta scale up in sizing so my account balance can a little bit more accurately reflect that. But overall, not bad. Sorry, Eric, I'm reading what it says. I'm the OG of the OGs here. Anyone else ever send John and Mitch tokens of appreciation? No, they haven't. I like it, Eric. I was literally bummed out when mine didn't come in. I was like super excited. I was showing my wife like pictures of it, like, look what this guy made for us, man. And then I checked the mail, it wasn't there. Yeah, he literally did. He made us custom tokens, like custom beginner trading tokens.
Well, I have an order out here for MBEV at 62.
Don't stress, Tiny. You'll at what, 62? Yeah.
Yep. Can't mark it into here because it wouldn't make it the right risk ratio.
ACB's back up to the VWAP. and it also has that new risk above it at 560. But your risk and reward is going to be a little bit different here on ACB. The VWAP is at 58. Risk can be, 63 or so, 5-cent risk, maybe 65 for a anywhere from 6 to 8 cent risk. Reward level can be down to 43, so about 12-cent reward, so about 2 to 1.
Yeah. Every time I would look at the other one, it's at the VWAP. I look at MBV, it's up there at 64.
Honestly, I'm probably not helping them either. I'm like, hey, look at this one. Look at that one.
You know? It's like, I'm always 1 minute behind it. And then I get to this point where I got to put the order out at the VWAP because I'm not doing getting down at the bottom anymore. That's what did me good yesterday, and that's what's going to continue doing me good. Limit orders.
Right.
I do good on them because I set my price and I just stick to it. When I stick to it, I stick to the plan, and I set a well-established trading plan. When I go and I have a trading plan and then I have to market into it, it usually changes the trading plan.
Yeah, AMD's kind of consolidating a little bit.
A market's kind of like a hot button. There's the real downforce in MBEV right now.
Yeah, there it goes.
Oh, there she blows.
Yeah, I mean, I was holding NBEV, but I would have gotten stopped out. I mean, I got stopped out. I'm just glad I got out before 670, but that 670 level is holding pretty tight there.
Yeah. That's going to be a miss in the books. I should have took the trade in there in MBEV.
I mean, you can still have ACB, you know.
Yeah.
ACB is a cannabis stock too, so I mean, if it can get up there. I'm surprised you don't use my method though of like getting in a little sizing and then if it goes to your level, adding some more. You know, even though it didn't work out for you, I know that happened
about
too.
Commissions.
Yeah.
Mainly about commissions. I'm not leaving myself any room to even take that first profit when I do that. Essentially, your first profit is just going to pay commissions.
That's right, Jason. So Jason received our $1 million strategy, and look, now he's there. You know, we're also getting ready to sell our famously proprietary course, which is buy the dip, sell the rip. $7 billion. That's it. Cheap, you know. But no, obviously I'm being sarcastic, guys. ACB, I mean, it's getting there. It's at 56. VWAP is at 58. You got about a 5 or 6 cent risk at about, 63? And it's getting there.
It's getting to the point where I'm liking it.
I mean, that's the way to approach it, Tiny. You know, it's a long game. Trading's a long game. You can't get in trading looking for short-term results. You know, you have to understand that it's an investment of your time. It really is. It's an investment of your time. You're probably going to lose when you first get started, and that's to be expected. You know, you can't let that really hurt your mental game because you're probably going to lose when you first get started, and that's just kind of how trading is. There's the cliche saying that you got to pay your market tuition, and, you know, most people don't get to skip out on it.
This is what I don't understand. I had that 3 cent limit. It just didn't let me get in there. Would have been able to get in there at 55s.
AMD, we'll see what it does here. But yeah, there goes MBEV. That's what I said. That 670 risk was tight, man. You know, it not like tight and like a cool tight, but like literally tight, you know. You know, like the early 2000s, like that was tight, man. You know, not like that, but like actually like small. But confirmed it numerous times. Kind of shows that why I like volume in pre-market. MBV had like one of the better volume levels in pre-market, and so 670 confirmed. All right, here's 56 for ACB.
Yep, I'm letting it tick one more tick up.
It should here.
56, get on the bid.
There you go. Oh, wait, no. It's okay. AMD squeezing up finally. ACB. It's 56. No, it's on the ask. But yeah, NBEV did follow through, man. I've got a little bit of FOMO for it too, man.
That's how it goes.
Looking at the level 2 for ACB. Let's see, bigger sizing. A lot of red on the level 2 or on the time it sales.
Next candle coming right here.
Yep. Kind of frozen there. There we go. There's 57s.
Right there. All right, guys. I'm going to take this trade off the 61s, 62s here. It'll be 61 will be my out here.
Yeah, let me pull you up. I like 63 risk a little bit better, but it's 63? All subjective. Because if you look at the high of the first candle.
I'm just using the pre-market level.
Yeah, I feel you.
Can't let it get filled big here.
There's 58. Let's see if we get that squeezed down. It would be beautiful if it made that double top there for you. Also, CGC's right up to the VWAP too. What's Cron doing? We are using TEFs, which is TradeNet, Keith. The way it works is kind of like a prop firm. You know, you pay for a package. It's not a deposit. You actually pay for the package. And, like, they give you a certain amount of buying power with that. And so, like, the intro package, you pay $500 for it. You get $14,000 in buying power, but there's a $700 max loss. And so it's like if you go under $13,300, they close the account down. And any profit over the original $14K they give you, there's a 70-30 profit split. Right now, they do have a sale going on where it's 20% off, I think. And so if you're interested, there's the link, Keith. The biggest flaw, like I always say, though, with TEFs and TradeNet, if you are thinking about signing up, is that penny stocks, most of them are not tradable. Like, most of the time, you can't trade penny stocks on TradeNet. And you want to understand that about them, too. And so, you know, do your research.
Gotta watch out here.
So I see the other cannabis stocks starting to pull back some here. I see CGC doing it. What's Cron doing? Cron is up to the VWAP as well.
All right, we can get the rejection off the 60 now. Not really get through that 62, which is the next level. 63s will get me out. Rejection here is what we want to see off this top level. If it rejects, it should make that slight move down, come back down to those 550s at the minimum. See what happens here.
There's 59s. There's a little bit of a rejection.
There you go. I like that.
Yeah, now you just have lots of resistance above you. It even got down to 58. And so we'll see if we get that real big drop here, because then it's a very obvious, very obvious double top.
I just added size there to 700 shares there. Holding tight risk here.
57s. There we go. All the way back up to 59s.
Don't want to pass the 2s here.
I do like it better now because it has that resistance above it now. It's going to build some resistance above it.
Exactly. We know that any weight down here through the 55s will make this look bearish. You just have to stick to your levels, you know?
What are you talking about, platform? CFDs are contracts for difference, right? So CFDs are contracts for difference. And so it's essentially a contract between you and your broker on the trade, right? And so they play exactly like regular stocks do, like exactly what normal stocks do. But you're trading against the broker. And aside from that, they're exactly like regular stocks. The biggest difference is that they don't actually affect the market. Like you're not going to see your order on the order book, you know. And so it's just a contract for that trade, you know, like kind of like a bet with your broker on that trade. But like I said, they trade exactly like regular. There you go, nice little rejection down there. They trade exactly like regular stocks except for those two things. You know, I actually prefer them because it means I can short these big moves in the market. Like I can short more stocks on CFDs, and so it's actually better for me, I think.
All right, that's what we want to see. Now let's see a big level come through in at 56 and 55s.
Are CFDs available for U.S. citizens? So it's what TradeNet did was essentially find a loophole, which I think is great because you're not trading CFDs. Your broker is effectively trading them. You know what I mean? And so you're not, but your broker is. It's like a loophole, and it works. You know, and so it makes it that U.S. citizens can do it. Johannes, I'm using Thinkorswim for charting, but Mitch is using Tefs and TradeNet. Um, and so, you know, I think I've explained it
Big
before.
levels here. Let's see it hold these levels now and come down to 55s here.
I like it now. I mean, the cannabis stocks are dropping with it as well, and ACB follows the cannabis stocks much more closely than like NBEV does. And so I like it here. It's built up that big resistance level at 560 that, you know, you can really base off of now. But yeah, we're using Tefs and TradeNet, Johannes. Here's the link if you're interested in using them. Like I said, biggest flaw is that some stocks are not tradable. If you're like a penny stock trader, it's probably not the best broker for you just because most penny stocks are not available there. And so, you know, that's the biggest flaw, I think, in my opinion. It's kind of like a prop firm with TradeNet. But do your research. I make a commission if you go through my link, so maybe I'm biased with it. But it's one of the ways we keep the stream free. And we'll always probably keep the YouTube stream free. But yeah, if you're interested, there's the link. There's AMD. Yeah, AMD followed through nicely on that bounce, man. I'm looking at it now.
All right, we just needed to come down and crack 55s. If it cracks 55s, we'll make that move down. We'll look for our first profit area in that 550.
Yeah.
Yep. And then we'll look for a 45 break and hold a little bit to see if it makes a move towards 5. Just got to hold in this trade, already established risk, everything already done on the hard side of the trade. Now you just take the trade and you execute. Whatever happens is whatever happens. And that's the only way to trade.
Yes, sir.
To stick to a system and stick to those targets. And the rest is just the market.
Yeah, so the cannabis stocks are still kind of pulling back some. At least CGC is. Cron is kind of fighting the view up a little bit more, but it still doesn't look bad. I like the double top at this point. It gives you a very obvious risk level, and you can essentially just hold to that level, which I think is a good position to find yourself in as a trader, where you get a very obvious confirmed level that you can follow. But CGC is fading off the view up nicely there.
See the difference about how 3 cents can make this trade?
There's 56s. Looks good.
It looks completely different if I was in at, let's say, 55s versus 58s or 57s.
Yeah, for sure. Somebody's asking, check out GFI. What is your opinion on DFFN? Do you think it will bounce back? Hold on one second. I'm going to have to pull this up. It's just about the daily chart is usually what I look at with stuff like this. What happened to DFFN? Was it an acquisition? Was it a split? What happened to make it move like this? It looks like a split of some sort. So I mean, I don't know. It's kind of mixed. You know, it could. It it looks extended on the daily chart. I think it may bounce back some, but who knows? Like I really, no telling. Looking good for you now, man. Beautiful double
Well,
top there at 560.
it's funny. I kind of like spammed the other side of the market a little bit. As soon as I did that, we got a little breakdown.
Nice.
I put an order out to short a little bit more at 560. If it came up and filled me, it wouldn't have got me mad because I would have been able to at least control the risk.
Right.
But it was able to put pressure on the downside of this trade, get it down to the support now. We're going to look for this 52s to break here. Ooh, look at MBEV. That thing just got hammered 300,000 shares.
I was looking at it on my other monitor.
Oh, Lord. That's why you hold a little bit more shares.
I mean, no, this one would have stopped me.
Not
out.
you.
Oh.
Not you. Earlier.
Yeah.
Earlier. You would have got in this trade early in that beginning 9:30
Whoa.
move.
Yeah, I'm just now seeing that move, man. Whoa.
That is
big.
That's a reward right there.
Right. And that's just, it broke under that resistance it had at like 645, or that support it had at like 645. And so with NBEV crashing like this, you should maybe get some follow through momentum on ACB as well, because NBEV is a cannabis stock. You may get some sympathy downward movement here, and so that's what I would be looking for.
Yep, that's why I'm not rushing into profits here. I can't. I have to stick to my levels here, because if not, the trade doesn't make sense, guys. Always stick to your levels. Understand that if that's what you want, then stick to it. I took the buy order off just so it's not sitting in the order right now. I don't want to put buy pressure. So I want to let the stock down tick towards my area. Then I put the order out. Like right there. You see how it down ticks towards your area?
Yeah, so I'm talking to Aries right now. So I've been using market orders. Now, I wouldn't recommend using market orders on a conventional broker, but on TEFs, they have that 3-cent rule for limit orders, and my fills have been much, much better with market orders. And so it's completely up to you, not trying to tell you what to do or what not to do, but if you want to get filled, maybe try a market order. I think market orders I've definitely had better results with thus far. I wouldn't be opposed to taking half off there, Mitch, or taking some off there, just because it has that bottom at 51, and so the support's at, you could use 50, but I think 51 is reasonable because that's where the low of that previous move was. I don't want to tell you what to do. I'm just talking kind of what I would do.
It's like 50, 52s right now.
But it definitely looks good because NBEV broke down, CGC's breaking down, Cron's breaking down, and so I think CGC probably looks the weakest except for NBEV, aside from NBEV. But like the actual NBEV is a cannabis infused drink company, so it's a little bit of a different sector. But specifically with straight cannabis stocks, CGC probably looks the weakest right now. PTI Santiago. Let me look at it. Hold on one second. I mean, it's down a lot already. The daily chart doesn't look great. It's kind of breaking under this major support on PTI, so we will see. I'll be right back, Mitch. Hold it down, brother.
Yep. getting a little bounce here. Kind of holding off here to take profits here, guys, as I kind of maybe might have misjudged where the bottom was. It was 51. I wanted more of that 50 pull, and maybe I was being 1 cent kind of greedy there. So now I got to essentially just hold the plan the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah, don't stress. I think you're still okay. Especially like if you look at the lows.
That it's such a tight 1 cent off that
Right.
I didn't take it, and now I just got to hold through it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That 51, like the bottom of that previous move was at 51, 52. You know.
Yeah.
They also, if you look at, but I think you're okay because that resistance, like if you look at those first downward move, like the first 5-10 minutes of ACB, it put in two lows at 57, which is right around your entry, and so I think that area can have some resistance there now as well. So I think you're okay still.
Well, we're getting some of that downward pressure right now. Let's see if we can break through the 50s right here.
Market is reversing. Whoa, look at, man, I know you're busy in a trade, but look at the SPY, guys. The SPY just got hammered in the last 5 minutes or so. SPY got hit.
Hard.
Yeah.
We were talking about it pre-market, man.
Yep. Cron's rebounding some too here. CGC still looks weak. I still think you're in a comfortable position though, because you're well below your entry. You know, your risk has confirmed numerous times, and so regardless of what happens, you'll be all right. I don't think it was a bad trade. But man, that drop on NBEV, it kind of coincided with the actual market. You know, the actual market looks kind of like NBEV, pushed up a little bit more, reversed a little bit harder, but Cron is the one that is kind of rebounding some here.
Comes that pressure. Big sizing going through there, 52s. Let's go.
Let's get that break.
See what happens right here.
You also may want to look at the other cannabis stocks just to see, because they're kind of following each other to a certain extent. Like right now, they're kind of moving up a little bit, but I think CGC still looks weak, and I think it's still they're all still bearish on the day.
All right, gonna get that bounce here and see if it rejects here. Now my levels are gonna be in this trade. It's gonna be up to that 59. I'm risking 2 cents on this trade. Don't want it back up there to that 60.
Yeah, that's not bad. I don't hate it.
Letting the VWAP test here come. If it comes, then it comes. If not, then it rejects here and it just slams down through the 50s. Just got to hold to the trade.
Yeah, all you can do is hold to your levels. That's it.
I think you were right on that 51. I may have misjudged it just by a cent. You should have taken maybe at least what I was going to do is I have 300 shares at the top here.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, it's kind of, I think you're all right still.
It might be too small also of a profit. That's what I'm also considering, is that even if I take 300 shares off, 400 shares at what's it going to be, 6 cents? Talking about like probably about the cost of the trade itself.
Yeah. The cost of the trade commissions wise, you know, you're probably at about what, like $6 in commissions, $5-6.
Mm-hmm.
Still cheap, you know.
So, it's relative. So I'm just hoping right now. See that last high created there. Want to see a little smackdown through the 50s here.
Yeah, we just get some consolidation. Still looks good for you. It's just about. I'm watching the other cannabis stocks to see what they do now. Kron's rebounding a little bit. CGC's pulling back here, but it's still too early to really tell. Kron, I'd like to see that rejection at what is this? At 30, at 11:30, where it had that top, and really at 11:31. Yeah, 11:30, 11:31 is where I want to see the rejection on Kron. So if we get that, and we get a downward move still with the rest of them, I think you're good. What's up, TJ? I'm up a small amount. I it's not break even, but I'm up a tiny amount just because I held a position. I took partial profits. It ended up reversing on me, and so held a little bit, but I'm up a small amount today. Green is green. Second green day on the week. So, all right. So the bid's at 52 now. So we should get the ask. Yep, there we go. We should get the ask to drop.
You got to get that ass to drop, right? Oh man,
it's always gonna be funny, man.
Can't be dropping that ask.
Right, that ask. The ask was looking good there too.
Yeah, dude. When the ass drops,
Let's go, Ariz. Let's go. Do it, brother. Congrats, man. Yeah, green is good, TJ. I'll appreciate. Can't talk. I'll appreciate it.
Just let that ass drop.
We better hope that ass doesn't back up. There you go. There's 52. Hey, there it is. If you want to.
There's the pressure. No, let the sizing come in. If not, I'll take off when it bounces. Yeah. You gotta give yourself a chance right here.
Right.
If you didn't take it last time, then why take it like immediately there again? You should have took it last time. So now you got to give it the chance.
What do I do when I have to pee? When monitoring the trade, I run.
You put it on a stop and you leave and you just kind of what I talk about. Jesus, take the wheel.
Yeah. I run literally.
It's time for Jesus, take the wheel.
Yeah. I run. I literally run. Like you'll hear me stomping around. Like if I'm in a trade, I run.
I've had my girl to close down trades for me. So
I've had mine too. I've said, hey, look, when I had to leave on the day and I wasn't home, I said, hey, look, if this stock does this, get out of the trade. If this stock does this, stay in the trade. And she did.
That's as simple as trading can get sometimes.
Right. She probably trade better than me, honestly.
Even better. I put a stop and I just said, if you don't see this disappear, just let it keep going.
Right. And they probably trade with less emotion than we do.
Yeah. Hey, and some girls have been known to become really good traders just because they can master the emotions a little bit more. Right. They deal with them more on a consistent basis,
Yeah, I feel you. All right, there's 52s. Let's see this break here. I mean, if it breaks under 650, we could effectively get a big move down. It's kind of confirmed that big level of support, though, at 52 3 times now.
No. So now the level is really to watch is going to be this 54. Don't want to pass that 54 level mark, really.
Right. I mean, the good news, though, is that, like, Kron put in that double top right around 11:30, like I said, I was looking for. CGC's never really rebounded some. It's kind of battling 29 the whole dollar. And so the cannabis stocks are still looking weak.
Love to see a rejection right here and then back down to 50.
ACB bouncing off the VWAP again. Not the best one this time, but it bounced again. NBEV just retraced almost all of that downward move for NBEV. It just kind of retraced all of it. It's back up to 44. Kron is back down to 1120, so that 1130 area held his resistance like I was looking for. CGC still looking weak, holding resistance at 29. Let's see if we get the support break. I mean, it's built up support here.
There's some down pressure coming in the time and sales. Now above that 53, I'll take some profit, but I'm looking for this to just crack here. Giving it a chance, guys. By giving it this chance, I give myself maximum potential here.
Plus, the SPY has completely retraced that, or not completely, but it's retraced some of that downward move as well. Yeah, I don't play OTC either. Yeah, AMD bounced again right around the VWAP. I'm telling you, man, ACB with those VWAP bounces has been pretty reliable for sure.
Don't want to see 54s pop up here.
BPMX. Hey, look at your text, Mitch. Hold on one second. Yeah.
I'll try not to.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not. I just explained it in the text message.
You know, no stress.
You know
I'll try
I mean?
not
to. Yeah. It's good. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's honestly spot on. But
I love the guy.
Right. But for that reason, I'm out. You know.
For that reason.
I haven't been watching Shark Tank lately, man, and I love me some Shark Tank.
Yeah, I haven't watched it too much either. All right, here, guys. I'm gonna watch right here. Make my decision on if I'm taking some profit here or if I'm going to let it crack down here.
NBEV holding that previous low as resistance. The SPY is coming back down. Yeah, man, the SPY's kind of retraced all its gains over the past year. I had the IRA guy out here. I think now would probably be the best time to start putting something in because it's so low. I think we get a rebound sometime, but who knows, man.
All right, guys, going to pay myself a little bit there, guys, just to take some profit in this trade, limit our kind of exposure to the market, and give ourselves a chance to come back into this.
Yep. Good move, I think.
Essentially, pay the commissions on the trade, still giving myself an ability to stick in this. I have 400 shares still at 57. Can size back into this and let this trade work here too. Still think we got a good amount of downward pressure there in the 50s. So
I just sent you an email, Trevor. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, if you want to do that, I can, man. No stress. But yeah, there's a very specific reason why. And so that's why I emailed you, brother. Don't do it, Mitch. Yeah, look at that AMD. AMD bounced again, man. I'm telling you, this VWAP bounce setup on AMD has been pretty reliable. And it's something I talked about in one of our classes where I was kind of testing the VWAP bounce. And one of the conditions, like if I pull up this here, like watch, I can pull up this so you can see what I mean. But like, where is it? Back testing results. So if you look here, like these are my back testing results from AMD and or from the VWAP bounce. And one of the conditions that were favorable were a previous history of bounces, right? And AMD was number one favorable ticker. But the reason I say a previous history is because if you look at the AMD chart, typically if it bounces once, it bounces for the rest of the day. And that's what you get with AMD, where it bounces once at the open and then it continues to bounce throughout the rest of the day, forming that little channel, maybe even a little bit of a I don't know how perfect of a flag it would be, but it doesn't look terrible, but it just broke the high of the day. But that was one of the conditions in my back testing results was that if it bounces once, it typically will try to bounce again, during that same intraday frame. Oh, what's up, Shirley? What's up?
MBV looking interesting.
Yeah, NBV looks interesting if it can, as kind of like, this is kind of like my old short pattern where it's like I would look for it to break down and then hold that previous low as resistance,
Yeah, that's 645 there.
Yeah, and so it's kind of looking like what I used to trade, like the way I used to approach it.
There you go. Big short coming in there.
You and
51, 10,000 shares, 4,000 shares right behind it. Next thing you know, you see bigger shares right above it. Shortest placing shorts right on top of it here. Let the trade work here, guys. Our next profit take would be down to the 45s.
Yeah, I think that's more than reasonable. You get that breakdown on CGC, like I said. Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's not that. Like I said, I think if you trade for a certain amount of time, you kind of mature as a trader, and you understand that like just because somebody trades a different strategy than you doesn't mean they're wrong, and that's kind of how I have to approach it. So like even though that's not really my style, Eric, trading those really cheap stocks, that doesn't mean you're wrong, man. Obviously, you're doing something right. You had 7 green days in a row, for sure. Like you're doing well, man. Happy for you, brother. I just hope that our classes can help, man, or our classes have helped you get there. And I feel like they have,
Here it comes. Here comes that boom.
Let's get that boom. Breakdown under 550.
Oh.
It should, if it breaks under 550, it should get down to 545 pretty quickly, I would say, if it actually breaks under 550. With some volume.
A lot of volume there.
Also, if you look at the daily chart, what's that low, Mitch? That low of that last green day it had 2 days ago.
You see that low is down there to.
Yeah, right there.
533.
Okay. Yeah, I think that is a reasonable area to, look for the rest. Correct, Aris. It's a one-time payment, right? They take out platform fees, which is like $15 a month. Aside from that, like you have your platform, which is $15 a month, which is much cheaper than almost every other platform you use.
There's a big order. 14,000 shares right there. The bid is definitely getting pushed here.
Yeah. It just needs to break under that 550.
Yep.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I'm just talking. I'm rambling. You'll realize Mitch is if you follow along with the stream on an everyday basis, you realize that Mitch is like the serious one, and I'm like the one that never stops talking, and so it's kind of how it is. But it's a good dynamic, I feel like. There you go. There's 550.
Get the weight on there. Let's go. See, I put on an order that will never get filled, but just to put some pressure in the stock. This is just one of the things that I do. If you're in real equities, you can do this all the time. It kind of puts just supplies above it, you know?
Yep.
All right. Now you start getting your order ready for where you want to take profits.
Now you also have that 550 resistance that you can watch too. Maybe 551, but you got that level.
I'm thinking this is going to give me a good potential. I'm going to take 150 just to pay myself a little bit more here at the support and look for a nice breakdown here.
Yeah. In theory, like I said, once it breaks under 550, it should get down to that at least 44 or 45, 46 level pretty quick, I would think. It may bounce up and test that 550 resistance. Hopefully it gets rejected there, like it's doing right now. But in theory, it should get down there.
All right, what do we got here? All right, 10th of that. Looking for that low day action here to the 46 area. Now that we've gotten this move, don't take your profit early. Taking your profit early is only going to get you into the hurt, because the reason we're trying to wait for targets is we're trading systematically, guys. I did lose a little bit on that first trade, but if I take this trade completely, the way that I set it up from the beginning, I'm going to be able to at least either be break even on the day, if not a little bit in the green. And that's what you need to do as a trader, is really trade systematically so that, you know, hey, you're going to lose. You're not going to be accurate on every single trade. But one of the key things you need to do is have an ability to actually set yourself up to gain maximum gains. When you do win, if you're taking profits way too early, you're just killing nobody but yourself.
Right. All right, I'm sending it. I'm uploading it, Trevor. Hold on one second, man. Yeah, right now it's testing that 47. If you look to the left and see that downward move, it's got a little wick that goes down to 47. It's testing that now. What's up, two-way? I mean, Mitch is in a green trade so far. I had one green trade. It was a very small win, though. It ended up, I took profits. It ended up reversing back on me, and so small green day for me. Yeah, Trevor, I'm trying to upload it, man. It's not Let me try one more time. I'm gonna have to log out of this one and sign in. Or here, I'll just do this one. Yeah, that makes more sense. Still looks good. I feel like it's at least going to test that 545 level. But
Yep, that's what I'm looking for. A little down tick to get a little bit off here, and then just hold the rest for the big move.
Right.
All right, let's see it wash right here. There's the pressure. 47's getting thin here. Just need to get through the 47s. Getting stretched thin here. Let's see what happens right here. There's 1,800 shares. There's 3,000 shares. There you go. Starting to get that volume coming on there. There you go. That's what we wanted to see.
Right.
Now we give it a second. See if there's any big orders that come through behind this. That's what's going to push it.
Yeah, we use Tefs and TradeNet as our executing broker, Nathan. Do your research. There's pros and cons. Like if you like just trading penny stocks, it's not going to be the best broker for you. But my stock range is in between like $7 and $20, and so you know, it's a pretty good broker for me. They're also having a sale right now, so if you want to go check them out, you can. There's the link. It's a 20% off Christmas sale. It ends on the 25th. So if you're interested, there's the link. Yeah, and we're also getting CGC breaking down, which is, like I said, Cron is kind of staying stubborn up there, but CGC is breaking down, testing the lows, and so you should essentially get a move for ACB as well, breaking down. There's 46. Don't be scared to take profit there. Yeah.
I already did.
Okay, nice.
Way ahead of you, bud.
Yeah. Hey, great minds think alike, brother.
All right, guys. Now I got a 27 realized in this trade. Now I really need to know where do I want to take this stock down to. All right. So you need to go to prior history here. You need to know your ultimate goal here. We can do 539s, or we can come down to this 532 area.
Yeah, look at the daily chart. I think that's the level I was talking about. Like go down to your daily chart on ACB right there, and look at that third back right there. That low right there looks reasonable.
33. That's this one right here.
Yeah, and so that looks reasonable. I think down to that low 32. Yeah, 32, 33. I think that's a reasonable next target, but it's all up to you, brother. But we're using the historical chart to see where we're going to, or where Mitch is going to take his rest.
All right, so let's see if we get some good volume to come down here and knock this stock down here.
Yeah, sorry, Trevor. I'm trying to post it here, man. I can't really figure out how to post it really here. And so I'll post it on my Twitter, Trevor. And so if people want to see the graph Trevor was talking about, go to my Twitter. It's at Beginner Trades, and I'll post it there. Yeah, follow me on Twitter. I'll tag you in it, Trevor.
There's MBEV for that last bounce, at least in my consideration.
Yes, Jared, we were shorting. We're mostly short bias traders, but look at the fade on CGC, man. And you kind of took advantage of the same type of move with ACB. It's just got a little bit of a smaller range, but look at CGC, beautiful fade there. Kron is kind of being stubborn, but it actually just broke down too.
All right, guys, I got to get going soon. So probably going to have to take some more profit, hold really tight here. Yep. My girl giving me the got to get going. So what we're going to do here, guys, is we're going to take another probably, we're going to wait on this 1 minute pattern here. I'm going to focus in. I'll show you guys how I kind of take an approach if I want to trail stop here. Up 1, down 1, up 2. Can let up to about 49 here. Can't let it get past 50 here. If it breaks 50 here, then we'll just take the rest of the shares out and be done with the trade. If it breaks down to the 40s, we can hold for that 40 move. And then just take that maximum potential gain. Get on out of here.
Here, I'm going to text you, Mitch. Let me know if you want me to do this. Hold on. Still looking weak, though. I mean, CGC broke under that low. Kron finally stopped being stubborn, and NBEV with kind of my old strategy would have worked. It's down to 636, 635. Confirmed it twice as well.
Wanted to reject this 47 area here, not even get above this. Kind of hold resistance. There you go. That's what we wanted to see.
Let's see that low.
Now let's see the volume follow through on the bid side. All right. What I'm going to do right here is I'm going to place a stop. I got to go start getting ready. Yep. I'm going to stop at 550. And
reasonable.
Seeing this, I wanted to hold this resistance right here. There's a lot of shares that went through there, so.
Just got stuff back down, but no, I get it, man. Go enjoy your birthday, brother. Happy birthday, man.
Hey, it's how it goes.
Be on the lookout for your scooter in the mail. I feel like you need it to get around now, so be on the lookout for that, man. But good trade. Good trade.
Oh.
Nice desert. Hey, good job, brother. Yeah, I used to trade the T-VIX all the time, man, especially when the SPY is just tanking like this. I would go long on the T-VIX to take the counter position to the SPY, and it worked fairly well.
All right. Well, guys, I'm just going to go ahead and just take the trade. It's at my second level of support. I'll be able to kind of end the day, break even.
Yeah, for sure.
And at the end of the day, sometimes you just got to take that trade.
Yeah, I had to do it the other day.
And call it another day.
Yeah,
but I think this can get back above, yeah. But right here. Give it one more cent. If it wants to tick up. If not, let it pull back through this. There's some volume going through on the ass. There you go.
Yeah, good trade, bro. Good trade, man.
All right, guys, getting out of here. You guys take it easy. Break even day for me. I'll go ahead and I'll take it. Another trade, another day.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to go ahead and close it down, too. Shout out to Trade Ideas. Trade Ideas is cool enough to let me stream their scanners every day. And a really cool company. If you're interested in checking out these scanners, go check out Trade Ideas. I'll post the link. And, go check them out. Really makes my mornings much easier using Trade Ideas. I can kind of see what's moving in the market. And overall, I really enjoy using Trade Ideas. Plus, like I said, they're a cool enough company to let me stream these scans every day. And they have given me permission to, and just really cool company allowing me to do that. So go check them out. I'll post that link as well. Everybody wish Mitch a happy birthday. And yeah, guys, good luck for the rest of the day. We'll see you all tomorrow, same time as always. I'm actually going back out of town tomorrow after the stream. And so Thursday and Friday, I'll be streaming from Louisiana. So good luck for the rest of the day, guys. Another green day in the books. That's 2 green days this week. We'll see if we can have another good week this week. It's been a pretty good few months trading. We'll just try to keep it up, increase that share size. Appreciate all the new subs today. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. We day trade live on stream every weekday morning. We're the only people doing this, and there's other people streaming, but Mitch and I are literally the only people that are not only live streaming all of our trades, but we're showing you our account balance, showing you our profit and loss, showing you our executing broker while we're in the trade. And so, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We do this every weekday morning. Also, if you appreciate this content, click the like button right now on this video. We really appreciate the support, and clicking that like button does help support us. And so if you could click that like button, we really appreciate it. Give some love to the channel. And yeah, good luck for the rest of the day, guys. Where in Louisiana? I am going to, where Denham Springs is, Brian? Right around Denham Springs, man. Hey, cool. I'll be there Saturday, Brian. So let me know, man. Just let me know where you're at. Email me, brother, or message me on Twitter. My Twitter is @beginnertrades. It's not @beginnertrading. It's @beginnertrades. And so that's my Twitter, Trevor. But yeah, message me, brother. Maybe we can grab a beer or something if anybody wants to and is in town when I am. So yeah, good luck for the rest of the day, all. We'll see you all later. Click that like button as well. So show some love.